And who am I giving the words to? Excellent. My name is Derrick A. King. I am an actor and social activist. No, I'm joking. I'm not really a social activist. I'm really just an actor, man. I'm a man that's just passionate about his craft. It allows me to dive into my own soul, and that's why I love it so much. And I don't mind spending a lifetime curating a personality around that. So kindergarten through 8th grade, I went to a performing arts school. It's called Thomas G. Pullen, same school Martin Lawrence went to, by the way, PG County, Maryland. Shout out to the gang. And kindergarten through 5th grade, we had to do numerous arts. We had to act, we had to sing, we had to dance. 5th grade, you get to choose your own major. I chose theater. So from 5th grade to 8th grade, you're just solely majoring in one field, and mine was theater, and that's where the background comes from. Initially in high school, I did start off in another theater program. Kind of let that environment dictate what it is I did. So I started kind of getting into, I got into go-go bands, which is like a DC staple. I started playing the drums for go-go bands. I majored in auto body, so I learned how to like fix and paint cars in a traditional way, and I kind of got away from the arts as much to focus on what was more, socially accepted. And then I went to college. I went to Clark Atlanta University. I majored in TV and film. I had my own radio show, King, the radio ruler. Thanks for tuning in to WSTU, Clark Atlanta Zone. I did that for a while, and I just started dabbling in things. So being in Atlanta really gave me the opportunity to see the world outside of that little, colloquial box that I had in DC. I don't think I directed it towards specifically acting at that point, but I can see like, okay, yeah, I still always had that gene of performing. It never stopped. And then corporate America got his hands on me after college because, I'm from the neighborhood. So working for a Fortune 500, Fortune 100, honestly, Fortune 100 company, making a salary, 401k, pension. It was just like, man, I made it. And I let it take a hold of me for about 3-4 years. I got a promotion in that job, and my promotion was to the headquarters building, which was in Los Angeles, California. I started working that job for about 6 months, and I ended up dating this woman that was a dancer for one of the biggest artists in the world. And I got to see her day in and day out just give to her passion, and that's all she did, was dance for that artist, travel the world. And I'm waking up in the morning, I'm going to work corporate, and she's waking up in the morning going to said artist's house, to rehearse. And I'm like, man, what am I passionate about like that? I was like, I used to love acting like that. And I was like, man, I'm going to an acting class. I'm gonna see what this is all about. And the rest is history. Interesting transition, right? Because you do save up the money that you think is gonna be enough to sustain you for as long as you feel like it'll take for you to have a moment, a break. And it never really works out that way. I had a gambling problem. I've always had a gambling problem since I was 11 years old. And it's something that I really start taking care of myself in maybe about 7 years ago. You just one little step at a time. I don't gamble in this anymore. I only gamble when I do this but I basically found out that there was no real solution to it other than to not gamble, not identify with it anymore. Definitely 2023 was the New Year's resolution of, oh, it's over. So that transition from that artistic world, or from the corporate world to the artistic world, it wasn't easy at all because I didn't have that money. A lot of that money was already gone by the time, 2 months in of not having a job. It's like, there's a lot of time idle time, and the enemy of progress is idle time. Into that transition, I found out a way to fill up my time, and I made everything purpose-driven. I remember Drake dropped an album called Views, and it was a song on there called 9. I never forget riding down the street in Burbank, California, and I heard that song and it hit me different because he was like, I made a decision last night that I would die for it. And I was like, that's me today, man. I'd die for it, man. If I gotta stay in my car or not eat for a minute, if I gotta look rusty bad, if I can't buy the clothes, I'm not giving up on this, man. I'm not moving home. Like, I'm gonna do this. And whenever it got really bad, and it's like, I ain't booked nothing in a while, or nothing feels like I'm getting traction, or I need an agent manager, like, it's impossible to get to this level, I'd be like, man, at the end of the day, if it don't work out, one, the universe is gonna have to show and prove to me that this is not for me. And then two, I'll never have to wonder what if. It just continues to work out, and I believe that is what lets you know, am I moving in the right direction? Am I moving in purpose? The universe will let you know really easily. I would say I kind of came into where I feel comfortable saying to people I'm an actor fairly recently, in the last year to year and a half, where I feel comfortable. You go through a long time where people be like, what do you do? And you're like, I'm an actor. And they'll ask questions like, are you in SAG?
Well, damn.
I mean, not in SAG, man, but I'm out here, what have you been in? What can I see you in? I mean, I done did, I had like a little commercial or something, man. If you use pedigree? I did a pedigree, stuff like that. You don't really feel confident in what you're doing. You just go into classes and hoping that it's gonna happen. And now that I've done, most recently, the game on Paramount Plus, I have a show on Stars coming out later this year. I was a series regular on 4400, which really took me, to that place where it's like, hey, what do you do? I'm an actor. Yeah, you are? Yeah, I'm an actor. I don't know if you watch the CW at all. I'm on a show called 4400, etc. It gave me a different confidence just leading into that. But if I was talking to any inspiring actor, I would say don't wait for that moment, because it doesn't count. If you're going on an audition, it counts. If you're dedicating time to it, it counts. If you're dedicating money to it, it counts. If you move to Los Angeles from, a place where your comfort zone is, it counts. You are what you say you are. A curator of an acting program, acting workshop that gives back to the acting community. Actors Rampage, shameless plug, because it's pretty serious for me. So the beautiful thing about Actors Rampage is it started off as literally an idea in my head. I was going to classes in Los Angeles, and a lot of the time in classes, they run extra long. Let's say they start at 7, sometimes you get out of there at 12, 1 in the morning, because somebody start talking about, their grandma they lost, or, that boyfriend that used to, and it becomes more of a therapy session. I wasn't getting up on my feet every class, so I'm in an acting class, but I'm only acting for about 15 minutes. And the rest of the time, I'm just watching other people act. And I just wasn't getting what I wanted from that. And then 3, I was being taught by people that weren't in the field anymore. These are people that maybe acted 10 years ago, never made it big, or, stuff like that. They're not really connected. They just love acting, so now they're teaching this acting class. I was like, I need something a little bit more tangible, something more specific, something that I know I'm here getting to work in. And I started developing a curriculum for this program. So I challenged myself. I was like, man, let's try it out. I go make the curriculum. I do all the things that I can do, the things that are in my hands, without anybody having to be involved. So I reach out to my actor friends. I did a trial run. I did another one. I did 4 trial runs of just letting it be for free and allowing them to give me feedback. Then in June 2022, between that idea of 2020 and then in 2022, I went through getting my series regular role. So now I have something behind me to be like, yeah, come out and work out with me, because I'm actually out here working. I allowed it to develop. But from that first class, I could tell it was a gift back to the community. Actors Rampage, I keep it small, I keep it intimate. It's quick, it's didactic, it's fun, it's informative to the craft, whether you're an expert or a novice. And it really gets people back into the attitude of what it is that most people came out to LA to pursue acting, came out for. And that was just because you were excited about it. Watching that movie or you hearing that interview and you're just like, yo, I want to be an actor. Like, I could do it. Like, I love it. And I'll do this British accent. And I promise you I could do really well if I were out there. And you're like, I want to do it, and it's fun. And then you come out here and then it becomes all about getting an agent, a manager, and booking, and that person booked, and that person is on TV, but you're not. And it takes away the joy from it. Actors Rampage, they come back, they get the work ethic, they get the community, but more importantly, and most importantly, they get the joy.